But I just want you to tell you that you have the nicest people to rent from than there ever was. The other night I'm laying in bed and I'm crying. And I couldn't figure out why I was crying. And you know why I was crying? Because Elaine, that was the day that you had your episode by the
Oh my
by
goodness.
the dog ring. And I'm thinking, and I'm laying there and crying, and I'm thinking, what am I crying about? I was crying because I didn't know if Fritz would get back in time before there was anything happened to you. Because I had talked to your sister, and she said, Wanda, she's bad, and because he's in Portland,
Right.
out in Oregon, and with his brother, and so he flies home. But anyway, they are the nicest people to rent for. Well, when I first moved in here, I thought, oh, I don't know if I'll live in this place, but it was fine to move in. But in the first house, all I remember is Wigseth, but I can't remember the name of the couple that lived before it. Oh.
Dick, before Dick's?
Yeah.
Fritz and Donna Menard.
Donna Menard, that was it, okay. Well, they lived in that house, in the number one. Number two, I kept saying, well, I don't know who was there before, I can't remember, but, so all I remembered was this, no.
Don't say it, don't say
You
it.
can say it.
Don't
Okay.
say it.
What's his name?
Black, boy, man, but I couldn't remember his name.
For years.
Well, now it's just, yeah, I know, and Bobby said, Mom, he has to have a name. Okay, he has a name, but I can't remember what the name is. And finally it took me at least 3 to 4 months, I bet, Debbie,
More than that, I think, yeah.
to remember that it was Journal. That was his name, was Journal. And he was from Indianapolis. And so I got to know him really quite well, and we visited about his dad that lived there, and his brothers and his sisters and all this, and so that's another one I learned. Well, then we walked down the hall a little more, and then we had 2 Joyces there. The one Joyce in the back was moved into the nursing home, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
I can't remember
Yeah,
if she did.
and then the next Joyce was a nice lady and kept walking with Elaine and everything, and all of a sudden Elaine had this seizure and Joyce quit doing anything with her. She didn't even talk to her anymore.
Right.
She used to work on the puzzle, didn't she?
Yeah.
She'd work on the puzzle, and she got so mad at Debbie's dog, remember?
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
And she cleaned, a year later, she said she could still smell dog dander and she wouldn't come on.
Oh boy.
Hey.
Well,
Fritz, hello Fritz. We have food. We have food here.
Through.
You're late.
Next to Joyce.
I missed it by a
Oh,
couple minutes.
then we have Charlie. Charlie would come to the card table where I was working on, and that's when I could see and I could work on puzzles and stuff like that. And Charlie would come to the table, and he'd sit there and tell me everything I should know about the Catholic Church. So I
remember him.
was installed into the Catholic Church with Charlie. And he talked to me and he said, do you understand any of this? I said, no, I don't, because I'm a Lutheran. You just continue to talk. Well, then he invited me up to his room once. I was in that room. He had 3 televisions sitting, and he had everything on a different station. So I said, I don't like this, and so I walked.
Your apartment.
I left the room. Well, that's where Veronica lives now. And before Veronica moved in, they had to change the wall, the flooring, everything.
The apartment flooded, right?
Yeah, he had black
Or was there a fire?
No, it was
No,
black.
it was, he didn't tell them it was leaking someplace.
They had black heat it, well, anyway.
Mold.
Mold.
Is what you're
They had
trying
mold
to say.
all over it. So we had to get that cleaned out. Elaine and Fritz had to clean it all up. So then, okay, we're up at this end of the hall. And nothing, well, anyway, Charlie was really informative. I learned a lot about the Catholic religion, Veronica,
From Charlie?
from Charlie. He'd sit across the table from me while I was doing
I
puzzles.
can't believe you were listening to him.
Well,
Well,
I
they
just
keep
know-
talking to you when you're sitting
You had
there.
to talk to listen to anybody, right, when they were talking to you.
About the Catholic Church.
Yeah. And everything. Well, anyway, it's an interesting place to live. You learn a lot. And you forget a lot. But I have really enjoyed living here for 15 years probably.
Bobby said 12.
Bobby said 12? Okay. We don't know.
Bobby. Refer to Bobby.
Yeah, refer to Bobby.
Yeah, so anyway, it's an excellent place to live. And the rest of you will all find that out.
Yeah, it is nice here.
I found it out right away.
Yeah.
You did.
It's great. I loved it here from day one.
Well, I didn't love it from day one, because I didn't want to go out of my house. But I went.
I didn't want to go out of my house either.
No,
No, but you ended up here with me.
you ended up with a lot of us in your house.